We are starting today's journey kind of in media res, in the middle, sort of. We're here in Falkirk. We've come here from Edinburgh, and we have gone through a harrowing journey of figuring out buses and made it out to what is called the Falkirk Wheel. So it's kind of, I guess it's this location's version of kind of the Sioux locks in some ways.
Yeah, so rather than doing a traditional lock system of like raising everything, they just decided to build a big wheel and raise everything all at once rather than in a series of steps. So
Yeah, I'm not sure I entirely understand the mechanics of it from having read about it, so let's go check it out and see what's up.
exactly. The wheel was really cool.
Yeah, we were actually both kind of skeptical coming up here about if this was going to be something we walked up and we're just kind of like, cool, and then like walked away. But we've actually, we've been here for probably a good hour.
Absolutely. Yeah, the engineering behind it's really cool.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's not running currently. There's some hydraulic issue that they discovered or something. So it did run the first round today, and we were kind of inside going, we'll just record the next one. And then, of course, the next one, it doesn't run. So
yeah, there was a boat with a couple people like actively on the wheel, and then another boat loading up a bunch of people. And then, they like disgorged, I think, both of them. So
yeah. Oh well. But yeah, I think you can see it behind us here. So
this is really cool. If you're into engineering, you're gonna enjoy this for sure.
Yep.
But it's also just in the middle of like residential neighborhoods.
Yeah. If we turn around here, like these are just houses. Like somebody lives right next to the wheel. So
people just regularly have views of this wheel working all day.
Yeah, the bus stop that we're about to go get on here is just right in the middle of like this roundabout in the middle of this residential neighborhood. So
yeah. All right. Well, it has stopped actively raining, at least. It was actively raining earlier. But
yes.
We're going to go see if we can check out a tunnel and then get some lunch and make our way up to the Kelpies.
Yeah.
We are leaving the Kelpies now. They are ginormous monster statues, and it was a hassle to get out here. We can get into that later.
For sure.
So we're trying to decide what we want to do now. We're going to walk back through the park that the Kelpies are part of, Helix Park, and then see how we feel when we get back to kind of the city center, which is where we're going to grab our train later and decide if we want to try to squeeze in one more stop before we go back to Edinburgh. Sun.
What is that big bright thing in the sky?
It's sun. It's sun.
It's right before this. It was pouring really hard. It looks like it's finally stopped.
We were riding the bus back into town from the outskirts, seeing the Kelpies, and as soon as we entered town, it was just like a curtain of rain.
So we're going to wait it out a little bit. Or do we want to talk about our day travel so far?
Yeah, we could talk a little bit about the travel.
So start off with the first bus. What happened there?
It drove by without a second look at us. Well, so we moved to a different bus stop in town.
And we did eventually get out to the wheel, which
Yes.
was fine.
And that was relatively painless once we got that bus.
Yep.
And coming back was fine.
Other than the weaving in and out of the cars that are more or less kind of parked right in the lane of traffic.
Yeah, the roads are like not wide here, and there's no place to park cars at the houses, so they just park in the road, and then the bus has to weave in and out and in and out. Then we were like, hey, let's go catch a bus just down the road, and watched a couple of buses drive by the stop, and we're like, oh, what the heck? And then a guy nearby was like, oh, they don't stop here, you need to go up there.
So we did, and we got on the number bus that we were hoping to catch. However, supposedly from the town center where we are, they go in two different directions. One being completely not the direction of the Kelpies.
Yeah, and actually that guy lied to us because the bus did stop there. It just it does a weird loop, and then it stops. But the one going the other direction doesn't stop there. I don't know. It was very strange and confusing.
Which might be why the first bus, a different bus number, mind you, didn't give us the time of day the first time it went past us.
Yeah.
It's possible it was coming back for a second loop. I don't really know, to be honest.
Well, before we were even trying to get on that, we were trying to get on the 2. We were trying to get on a 28, which just apparently doesn't exist anymore.
That too. I forgot about the 28. Yeah. Yeah, it never showed up, and we never saw any signs of it. So
yeah.
Eventually, we get on the 2 going north, and once we figured out it wasn't turning to go to the Kelpies, we got off there.
Yeah, we needed to be going west, and we were going north.
So we got on the bus going the other direction. Eventually, got out to the Kelpies about 2 or 3 hours later than we were initially planning on.
2.
About 2 hours.
Walked to the park. We did a little vlog in the park earlier.
Yeah, the Kelpies were fine. The Helix area that's just south of there, fine. It's a park.
It's a peaceful park, I suppose.
I can
Nothing special.
I can imagine in the summer it's kind of cool because they have like a lot of splash areas and a lot of stuff for kids. But right now it's just a park and peaceful.
Yeah.
But what are we going to head off to now?
Well, we wanted to try and make it back to a place called the Milk Bar, which we had originally researched and written off as being way far out of town, but that was when we were still talking about riding bikes or walking between the wheel and the Kelpies is technically only 4 miles, which on a nicer day is not terrible.
If you go directly to one and then just walk to the other. Don't try to walk from town to one and then back to the other.
No. But then we realized that the Milk Bar was not far from where we were at the canal, but it's unfortunately closing at 5, which is about 20 minutes from now, so we're not making that. So we're gonna try to maybe hit up another ice cream place closer to the Grahamston station where we're going back to Edinburgh, but that opens at 5, so we're killing time to see if that does indeed open, and if we can get some ice cream after all, because that's what the Milk Bar is ice cream.
Yep. All right, well, let's head out.
If we got ice cream, maybe you'll see us eating it. Careful.